Welcome to Macrocode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So as you can see, this is our help desk management system. So we are going to proceed with our series. So I'm going to sign in to our application today. So if we just log in, this will take us to the dashboard and we are going to see some of the progress that we have done. So here we have the number of tickets per status. This is the pie chart, bar graph. We have our ticket priorities. We have our list of tickets here, and you can actually access the comments. Then you also have recent tickets, assigned tickets, resolved tickets. We have closed tickets. We have the ticket comments, and these are all the comments in the system. Then you have also the ticket categories. We have the subcategories. We also have the audit trails, the error log. So here you can actually get any kind of error. So we have the system users. So on system users, you can add a new user and you can assign them to a role. Then gender, I think we'll need to change some of the items here. Then I want us to, so here we have the system codes, system code details, system roles, and the roles you can assign them to rights. So you can see here, you can assign the rights and you can save it. Then you also have the departments, system tasks, then user profiles, system settings, and even countries and cities. So this is how the application looks like. So today I want us to enhance some items. So on our previous video, we were able to control the rights from the controllers. And you can see this is what we had done. So actually I'm going to enhance this, then we do something. I'm going to add it to our application, then we do something on the user management. So here on users, I'll also want to add authorize. So I can actually get my all rights, then you can just go around mapping them. So to get the rights here, I'll just go to permission here. I'll just save this. So then I can maybe have it here. So this one will be on our permissions. So here, this will give me all the permissions. So if I put in the breakpoint there, this will give us all the permissions. So let me just sign in. So if you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, consider subscribing. We notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So if you're one of them and you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like our video, comment, and you can also share. So let's just sign into the application. So if we sign in, we are expecting to get a breakpoint here, and we are going to, so let me try to access comments. So you can see these are some of the rights that we have. So I'm going to check these rights here, and I want us to use this now to add the permissions to our application. So let me just improve it. Where is it? I think I want to, so you can say view or JSON. So I'm going to copy this. So then I can add it somewhere. So let me just copy it. Then we can go ahead and map it to our application. So the first thing that I want us to do is, so let me just try to, so I'll try to format. So the first thing is, let me just copy that, and you can add it somewhere. So let's add it on the program.cs class so that you're able to see. So here, I'm going to add these particular rights here. So, and I'm going to, maybe let me break this down so that you're able to see. So these are some of the rights that I have. I do that. I do that. I do that. I do that. So if I'm going to break this, so you can see this is how the rights looks like. And if you're keen enough, you realize that we have the main modules and sub-modules. For example, the dashboard. So here, we are going to say now, we can now start from the dashboard. that is under home. So I'll just come here now to authorize. I'll just say authorize. So if we do that, then we can now add our, so this should be authorized. So is it? So let's copy this. So we are going to add this here. Then on permissions, then we'll be having now our permissions. One is dashboard view. So we'll just add that here. And remember, these are dashboard, then view. So you see dashboard view. Then once you have that, you can always add this also to the actions. So I want you guys to add all the actions now, the rights to your application. So let me now add mine as well. So I'll add it here. We have the audit trail. Sorry. So the audit trail, we have the audit trail. So what is the name of the audit trail? So we are calling it error logs. So you see, this is it. But I think we named it. So we are calling it error logs. So that is how we named it. So if you go back here, we have so we can also add this to our action, our index here. And assuming you have the rights for various items, you can always add it. For cities, I think we added. Then you also have comments, we added. Countries, we need to add it. So I'll just do authorize. Then we need to add it here. So this one will be countries. So let's just see how we named it. So we have countries. So this is it. So here we'll be having it countries. So the issue is if you mistype this, you'll not be able to access the action. So you need to ensure that you have actually put it correctly. So also we have the departments. So I'll just do here authorize. Then after that, I'll also add departments. So I don't know what is the name we used here. It is actually departments. So you can see. So here I'll call these departments. So these departments. And let me zoom so that you're able to see. So the same case here. You can always paste these here. And that is how it is. So you can do the same, I think, for error logs as well. You're going to do their error logs, and that is it. Then we have home, that was the dashboard. We have the roles, so we need to authorize. So for you to access some of these, you must be logged in. So you do authorize, and also we have here our, so let's confirm the roles. So I don't know if we have the, yes, we have the roles. So this one will be roles. So that is it. So let me just, so these will be roles. So these will be roles. Then we have view. Then we close it. So then, sorry. Then we have, so we can do, so these roles, we need to close this here. Sorry. So we can also copy this and have it under index here. So you can do that. Then you can also have our system codes here. So I'll just do authorize. Then we also have our system code. So let's check the right. So system codes, what is it? So this is the code, system codes. So that is what you should use. System codes. Sorry, this should be system. Sorry. So here will be system codes. So then we can also, so let's just confirm we have the correct name. So this is the system codes, then view. So we can also now copy this and have it on our index. So then we have the system code. So this is actually system codes details, system code details. So you can do details. Then you can have these as system code details. And you can also confirm the name, ensure that you have the correct name. So this is system code details. Then for the other one is now the system code. So I'll just come here, do authorize, and we can now add our action here, system codes. Then we can add it down here, system codes. Then you have system settings. So we can add our system settings here. So you do authorize. Then you can also do here system settings. So confirm the right system settings. So that is what we need to have here, system settings. So if we do that, then we can close it here. So that is it. System tasks, you can also do the same. So you have authorize, then we have system tasks. So let's just confirm the right here, system tasks. There we have. So we have here system tasks. System tasks. So confirm the name, system tasks. So that is it. So you can also copy this and have it here. So if you just do that, then that is okay. You also have the categories. You can also do here authorize. Then we have here our ticket categories. So confirm the ticket categories, right? We are calling it categories. So you can just come here and do categories. So if you do that, then you can also have it here. So that means for every kind of write, you can always have them on the actions. So if you want to control each actions. So you can also see under tickets, I think we had added this. So you also have ticket subcategories. So you can always add them here. So I'll just do that. Then we also, ticket subcategories, we are calling it subcategories. So you can do here subcategories. So if we do this, then I'll just paste this here, subcategories. Then that is okay. Then you have the user profiles. So I don't know if we have that particular right. User profiles. Yes, we have this user profile. So user profile. So we are calling it user profile. So I'll just paste this here. And I can call this now user profile. Then you can have these as authorize. Then we have it there. Then users, we also need to have it here. So let's just confirm our users are right. So our users right, we are calling it users. So let's just see users. So this is it. So here we'll do users. So if I just close this and paste it here, I can have it here. But here, that's okay. So if we go back to our user profiles, I think we did not add it under index. So you can always control it. So I think we've done now mapping of rights to all our controllers, but I've just done it on the main actions. So you can always remember our right here. So we need to remove this. Remember our right here has the view, create, all this. So the create, the delete, you can add them. Then you can always control your application. So I'm going to leave it there. I think I'll add those rights on the other when we are not recording. But for now, I want us to deal with something else because that point is now closed for those who have been asking about that particular aspect. So, but I also want to know if you have any suggestion or you have any way you will want to handle that. And also, if you have a better way to do this, then you can always share with us so that we can also try to implement. So we're actually learning from each other, guys. So I'll now try to access the app. If I sign in, you'll notice that we still have the rights and we can access our applications. So you can see we have all the rights, and if we click users, we are still able to access. So if you mistype anything, you will get the access denied kind of thing. So your permissions will be denied. So if you get that, just know that you've mistyped the permissions, and you need to counter check. So I want us to do something today. So on our previous video, we were able to add the change password, whereby you could actually change your password and provide the details here, and someone could actually change their password. So if you change the password, so we had allowed users to you can actually reset their password, and that was okay. So I want us to do something. So I want us to now address some of the actions that we had done here. So we have done the change password. So on the change password, we can actually enhance this particular aspect so that we have more fields. So if you just go to users, then change password. So let's just go to change password view model. We can actually add more of user details here. So we can say we want to know the password. So we can say here we want the email address. So let's just say email address. Then you can also have, this is email address. Then you can also have their role. So you can say here role. These will be roles. So you can do here roles, identity role. Where is it? So we have our identity role. So we have the role here. Then you can say here user role. So here you can say this is yes. Then you can also say maybe, so these are some of the details that you want to display for the user. So if we check on the user model, we have the first name, middle name. So we can also have the other names. So we can say first name string, first name. We can do here first name, and we can also have the middle name, last name, and so we can do the middle name. So this will be middle name. Then you can also have the last name. So if we do last name here, this will be last name. Then if you check on the users, we have the gender, and also you have the, so here we can say role ID. We can do role, then you can actually add something here called role ID. So you can do string, then you say role ID. Then we can also say gender. So I want us to do something also here. I want us to say gender, and we can do here, we say int, we say, let's just have it nullable, say gender ID, and we can actually say here, so you can remove this and we say system code detail. So let's remove this system code detail. So this is it. Then we say this is gender. So if we do that, then you are cool. So if you go to change password, so that is the here, you can now assign some of those items. So for example, first name, you can say here first name, and you can do here first name. So you can also check here and say, so let me just add it, then we try to change. So if we do here middle name, this one will be middle name. So you can do their middle name, you can do here last name, and you can do here last name as well. So then you can also do role ID. You can also do role ID, and you can do this role ID. You can also say here email address. You can do here. I think we had added email address here, so we can leave this. What other thing can we add? We have the gender. So here you can say gender ID, and here you can say gender ID. So since we have the gender ID and the role, we can now say here VM. So you can check, say if VM.gender ID is greater than 0, because these are actually integers. So you can say here, you can take this and have it here. We say VM.gender, say VM.gender equals to system code details. See this one? And we need to say here where ID is equals to VM.gender ID. Then that will give us the gender. And also for the role, you can do if a string, so this one is a string, so you'll say string dot is null or empty. Then you just do here VM.string. And this one we need to say is not. So if we do is not and we close this, then here we'll just do role. So I'll show you why we are doing this. So here we'll say roles, and we just do where ID is equals to role ID, and we do first to default. So then we return our view. So if you go back to our users, that is change password users. So let me just check. If we come here, you can actually say first name. So we'll do email. We can do first name. We do first name. This is first name. We can also do another one. Middle name. Say middle name. Middle name. You also have middle name here. You can also have last name. You just do last name. Just do here last name. And also if we just do this, you can also have gender. So we'll say here now role ID. We'll use role ID, but now the value will be role, then dot name. So we'll just do role.name. Then here we'll just do role ID. That is okay. Then we'll also do gender. So here we'll say gender ID. So if we do gender ID here, we'll just do gender, and you can say dot description. So that will give us the name of the gender. Then what other thing are we missing? So I think we've added all. So let's try to launch our app, then we see how this particular form looks like now. So I think that those are some of the modifications that I wanted us to do. So we are going to add another item for activating a user, and then we call it a day. So let me just relaunch the app. So if you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, comment down below. And in case you need the source code, you can always claim the source code using the link down below. So for the source code, who wants to claim, we are going to script and actually share with you the source code even with the database so that you are able to access the application without any challenges. So let me just sign in. And if I sign in, you'll notice that I have here, so I can go here and do, so let's just go to users. So system users. So if I go to change password, so you'll notice that I have my user here, full name, user role and gender are not there. So I don't know if we have that particular gender in that particular for the user. The reason as to why, so you see, for example, this user, it doesn't have the gender and the role. But for this one, if I go here and say change password, you'll notice that you have the male and female. So that's cool. So, and here, this is actually showing here, we don't need it. So let me just do away with the span. So I'm going to remove this, I don't need it here. Sorry. So I'll just remove my span here. I'll also remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. Yeah, that's cool. And that's okay. So if I just we leave it for the other. So if we update our app, then we should not be having these alerts here. These should only appear on our password and confirm our password. So that is it for, so you can see how our app now looks like. So you're able to see even the guy who you are changing the password for. So if we go to system users, I want us to now do activate a user action. So let's just go back to our application, and I want us to say activate user. So if I just click here, I want us to add another razor view for activating a user. So here I just say activate user. So it's loading. So I want us to activate a user, then you'll be able to see. And I said on our previous series, on our next series, we are going to show you how you can actually send email, activate user. So if we add that, so we are going to borrow some of the things that we've done. So I want you to copy everything on the change password, then add it on the activate user. But now for the activate user, you are not going to have the password and the confirm password. So we are going just to give you the button and say activate user account. Activate user account. So that is the button. Then we now need, so we say here activate user account. So this will activate the user account. So this is activate user account. So then you see this model, so we can actually reuse that particular model. Now, if you go to controllers under users, I want us to copy the view for the change password. Where is it? This is the view. So I'm going to copy this, and we can have it down here. We're going to call it activate, so the same name as our view for activate user. So we can just copy this and have it here. So the activate user, this will give us the details, so that's okay. So we also need the activate user confirmed password, confirmed action. So this is the action now that when you click, so you say confirm activate user. Activate user. So once you are done with that, so this activate user, confirm activate user is what we are going to have it on our form action. So this, when you click it, this way it takes you. And remember, under users, now under index, we need to now link it to our action. Remember, we had added it on for change password. We also need the same case for activate user. So we need to add it here. And now this is taking us to activate user here. So if we launch our app, we should now be able to access the activate user page. and we should now be able to see a button to activate a user. So today main item now is how do we activate users. So that is how we need to see. So we are going to do the activation of a user and how the user can be deactivated. So let's just go to sign in. So if we sign in, I want us to go to activate user. So that is users. And here, if we just come here and say activate user, you'll notice that we now have these details and we have a button for activate user account. So if you click this, it takes us now to the controller, which is under users, then confirm activate user. So what we need here is we need to get the logged in user. Then we need also to get the user who is being activated. So this up to here is okay. Then once we know the user, so I want us to remove this, and we should say if the user is not null, if this user is not null, if the user is not null, then we know the user who is being activated. So we have the details. So we need to now do lockout enabled. We do true. Lock, we say here maybe is active. Is active. So we say is. So here I want us to do something. So I want us to introduce maybe a button. So we can say first here we can do access failed account. We do 0. Then you can say lockout end. So we say lockout end. We do here, we can do null. And is locked. I don't know if we have such a field. Is locked. Is locked. Locked. Yeah, we don't have it. So since we have this, then we can now do user update. Then we save the changes and we say user account activated. So successfully. So we can also introduce some. So user account details could not be activated. Activated. So this one we are saying activated successfully, and here we can also say user account details. The account details could not be activated. Activated successfully. So on the user account, you can always have, for example, under users. So let's just go to that particular model. So you can always have on our application users, you can always have, in case you want to track users who are active or not. So you can always have here a boolean. So I'll just do public bool, and this you can say is null because you have users now. So you can say is locked, and you can have get set. So if you have this, you can actually be locking users so that someone who is not locked is the one who should access the system. So I can now add the migrations. Remember, whenever you tamper with the database, you need to add migration. So here I'll say, so let me just do here, add migration, user locking updates. So if you add migration, then that will be added and we are going to update our database. So the issue now with developing this thing as we go, the ideas come as we build upon. But in the real world scenario, you should be having your models before even doing any development. But also there are some changes that might come across when you are doing development. So I'll just do update database. So this one will add our database. That is our column called is locked. So if that is going on, so if you have not subscribed and you are watching our videos up to this particular point, take this time to actually click that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below. So you can see our field has been added. So if you go to users, we can now say if someone is locked. So we should now check this is we say is locked. and we have these as false. Then we will now do another one for deactivating a user. So that is what we can do next. So if I just launch now the application, then we should now be able to kind of unlock the user details. So if a user is locked, then we can do that. And another thing, guys, you can actually automate. If someone has not changed their password for a certain period of time, then maybe you can lock their account, or you'll force them to kind of reset. So that is some of the security things that you can always do on the application. So if I just go to system users, then say here activate user. So let me put a breakpoint. So if I put a breakpoint here and say activate user, so you'll notice that we have the user details. Then the is locked is null. So if I just come here, lockout enabled, so I'm trying to modify. So if you check on the user details now, lockout enabled is, so this one should be false actually. Lockout access failed and is locked is. So you can now modify and save the changes. So you can see user account activated successfully. So, and you can always display here. So if we come back to our application here, and the users, where is it? Users. We can also indicate whether a user is active or not. So here we can say is active. So you say is active, is locked. So you can just say, so let's just go back here and annotate this one. We say here display name, and we do this. So if we have our, so we have that, we say here is active. So it is active. So this is the user account. So if we go to users, and we can actually now add it down here. So you are able even to see the users who are active. So we say is locked, is locked. So if I just run our application, we should now be able to see those users who are active and those who are not. So let's just launch our app and see. So if you're watching this video up to this particular point and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing and also like our video. So for those who are watching our channel for the first time, subscribe, and also you can claim the source code, and as well you can always buy us coffee if you feel you need to appreciate our work. So if we just go to system users, then you can see now here is active, but others are not set because we don't have the we don't have the we did not updated this. So activate user. So if you go back to our control, I think we need to check is locked, this is false. Yeah, so here we should call it is actually locked. Sorry. So here we say is locked. Is locked. So that is why so if we check that, then we should now be able to see our application as it is. So I think we are going to leave it there for today. Then on our next episode, we are going to show you how to deactivate a user and also do some modifications to user details. Then we now progress and add some information that you've been requesting. I think we'll also be doing an export, assuming you want exports to PDF and also some of those items like Excel. So I'll just go to system users, and you'll see here is locked, it says false, and these others are not set. So if you come to our database, we can actually set all those items, we assign them values. So that is now the issue dealing with modifying the database as we go along. So if we go to system users, you'll notice that we now have our field that is locked. So let's just go to database, and here we have the field called is locked. So you see this is the one. So I'm going to update. So I'll just say update sp net users set is locked. I can set it to 0. So if I just set everything to 0, then we have all our application. So you can see is locked is now false. So that is it, guys. So I want to leave it there for today. If you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button. And in case you need to access the source code, you can always claim the source code using the link down below. See you in our next episode. Bye.